Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We have not streamed in fucking forever. So we're happy to get like maybe a half a game in tonight. So that's pretty cool. We're going to be playing Rogue Trader tonight, session 18. Our last session was a little bit of a mess. So I've got
Was it? Actually, I think we've got easily 2/3 of an episode, half an episode, 2/3. We're gonna go till midnight. We got this, guys. The God Emperor says we go till midnight. Pure.
It's fine for me. It's only 9 o'clock.
I'm on the East Coast. If you're enjoying this, then email us or message somebody, and I'll post that ASMR for you guys with the Emperor talking to you. Everybody loves it. Okay, let's go. Pop, 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 pop. Did things come out of things in your pants? And we did it. ASMR. Okay, let's do this.
All right. So we had there was a celebration on Ballentine. I was thinking it would kind of be like an Ocean's 11, like with all kinds of things happening in the background. It didn't actually sort of work that way, but we got Adelar promoted to the Harvest Master. Jarnan burned like half of the Harvest cult behind the scenes as they were all fucking tainted by the warp and some like demon cult shit. Venari figured out that Egon was in league with a rogue trader by the name of Venris Rybach. He had disappeared into the Calyx sector and people lost contact with him, but he seems to be the supplier of the black warp null goo. Venari left open potential for interaction with the warp goo later, and I believe he got a vial of it. If not, we'll just make that canon.
Yeah. At some point, you do have some amount of it, not like
not like cases. I think it was like a vial or something.
Yeah,
maybe 2 vials. Let's say 2. Maybe just throw that out there. I don't hear a no. All right, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna retcon from last session, which was sort of a mess. So we're gonna be arriving in Footfall, and we are going to head over to the offices of the Ecclesiarchy to report in on what we found on the planet of Ballentine. I guess we'll pick it up there as the ship is coming in and we're getting ready to disembark.
Sure. And as the ship comes in, the God Emperor just kind of says to Kynnoch, like, hey, the reason it wasn't like Ocean's 11 was because I was pretty sure you fucking assholes were just going to go do real things and move the plot forward and not fucking jack off all day at some fucking festival. Fucking assholes.
I was late to that session, so
I'm aware.
None of that's my fault.
I'm aware. That's why he's telling you. He's like, these fucking jerk offs thought it was supposed to be some exciting fucking like Mission Impossible bullshit. Instead, I thought you were just going to literally take off at the first fucking minute of the session and go back to goddamn doing something. Anywho,
maybe tonight. Let's see how it plays out.
Anywho, tonight we'll see what happens if you guys do things for once. You guys do things pretty well. It's not the other game. It's not Fear itself. This would take 7 sessions to get through this docking procedure.
Hey, that's no small thing. Fucking Emmaus ran the fucking ship into Footfall. So.
That's true. He did. Yeah.
To be fair, we arrived 3 days before we left.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and basically on in the station. Well, not in the station, but as close as it. Yeah. It was a fender bender. You got there fast, but it was a fender bender.
I was trying to play an Ace Ventura when he like slides into the parking spot.
Yeah, except not. Yeah, it didn't work that way quite as well.
No.
Yeah. So okay, you dock at Footfall, and you have your grain stocks. You have, as far as I understand, separated the completely untainted grain from the potentially somewhat tainted grain. That you are then going to offload to unfortunates throughout the sector, probably. You dock. They give you your standard berth. You are the sort of automated docking procedure. You are told that sort of on the screen, right, like the handshake between the ship's machine spirits and the station's machine spirits, Zarkov is still in charge of Footfall, so he has not left. His people are still in place, and Kalanis Sakaris is still the harbor master. That would who you would be talking to for any major, cargo offload, in-load, like purchases, stuff like that, supplies. You weren't gone.
I thought we went to Port Wanderer, didn't we?
Wait, did you go to Port Wanderer or did you go to Footfall? I thought you said Footfall. No?
Maybe, because I confused the two. But Port Wanderer is where the offices of the Ecclesiarchy and the Administratum
yeah,
would be, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay.
I mean, that's other good information to have. Maybe they tell us that when we get in, when Oros checks in or when I check in with him.
Sure. Am I crazy? I thought Oros was on Footfall. No?
He is on... I thought he was on Port Wanderer because he took over the operations from that guy that we killed or had killed when we originally went to the
Footfall. No, am I crazy?
I don't know. Maybe. So many notes.
I could be wrong, but
I thought he was on Port. I thought he was on Footfall. Right, he's on the station. I thought.
Wait,
where Zarkov is at.
Who, Oros? Yeah, right? That's Footfall.
Yeah.
That's
but
Footfall.
We're at Port Wanderer, though, aren't we? Because that's where all of the offices for, like...
That's where the main offices would be, yes. So is that where you went? Okay.
I think so, yeah, right? Because then we would have to turn the grain in. It wouldn't do us any good to turn it in.
Okay, let's retcon all that. John.
We'll just edit everything.
Point here. Blah! There. Look for that signal in your editing software. You're welcome. Okay. Okay. So you arrive at Port Wonder. You dock as per procedure. You are given a berth. You have your grain separated from the untainted grain from the potentially somewhat tainted grain. To do with as you wish. You are given, a standard Rogue Trader berth, and it is up to you then to decide what you want to do.
All right.
I'm assuming we're gonna have to check in with them, right? If we're show up and all kinds of grains coming off.
Yeah. So Venari, I guess we're probably all on the bridge. He says to Jarnan. So we should probably check in with the Ecclesiarchy. I think you should probably take point on this one as you're in pretty tight, with whatever the guy's name is. I should probably edit in later that I don't remember.
Wait, who?
The guy who hates me. The guy with the Ecclesiarchy.
You gotta narrow that down.
Jarnan.
Carnot Stand.
Carnot Stand, that fucker. Yeah,
which
I hate
you
that guy.
fucking sent an insulting gift to.
Yeah, that guy.
Help.
That dude.
Yeah. So you're in fairly well with Carnot. We'll let you take point on that, and I'll let them know what's going on when we get over to the Administratum. Hopefully, Carnot will lend credence to the story and smooth over any potential problems that we may have with the Administratum.
Yeah, hopefully. And I would agree. He should talk to me and not you, since he hates you.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
Well, I'm sure he'll be happy to know that we cleansed the planet so thoroughly. So maybe you will get into his good graces just a little more.
one could only hope. You know, we are doing the Emperor's work.
That we are. Most of us.
He looks over to Kynnoch. He shrugs, you know, like, whatever.
Is there any other offices on here? I can't remember if it was just the Ecclesiarchy or was it
the Administratum, the Tech Priest.
So they are,
this is where I got
okay,
my
Yeah,
skull.
they pretty much every major faction will have.
Okay. Because like when we went last time, we just met each of them at the same. Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
It's totally split the party.
Well, it's probably be a good thing to split the party, keep you away from them. I just don't know who we got to talk to first. We got to talk to someone else to think about our next mission, or do we wait to see what the Ecclesiarchy comes back with?
I believe we should probably keep all of our options open, no?
Yes, I'm just trying to think if Jarnan goes over there, is there anywhere specifically that the three of us can go? Or should we wait until Jarnan gets back to see the mood of the Ecclesiarchy?
Yeah, quick question. Can I tell if I'm assuming that's the black goop is something that not Jarnan, that Venari would keep close to him. Is that something you still have on you?
I don't know.
Roll for it.
Well, I would say, I guess, like, in the warp, he might have, like, locked it in his room in a safe place, you know, in a safe or whatever in the captain's quarters. But I think, like, as we were getting ready to come in to Port Wanderer, it would be in his pocket. Because I think I want to talk to somebody about it.
Well, yeah, so Kynnoch will kind of raise up and let's say, Captain, I would like, with your permission, of course, to go speak with the tech priests of the station in regards to a certain item. And he'll kind of like glance down at Venari's pocket at his coat, being like, that.
If you have business with the tech priests, I could possibly accompany you there. It's been a while since I've checked in with them. We could see how they're making out with things. Jarnan, if you wouldn't mind perhaps speaking to Carnot on your own. Of course, I'd planned on all of us going, but if you think it might be better for you to have a private meeting, as it were.
This actually would be preferable.
Of course.
Speaking to him might actually be easier without you around.
I know he kind of flips up his collar. He goes, I am quite an imposing figure. I could be distracting. I can understand that.
Yes, you can be.
Well, okay. As you see fit, I can accompany Kynnoch to make sure that he doesn't get into any trouble, I suppose. Emmaus, you have any plans?
Think maybe safety in numbers for the moment, and I'll look down to where Kynnoch was looking on Venari and eyeing him up again. I think maybe caution is probably the watchword now that we're here, and having three of us in the same place, we can see about maybe having a quick discussion on what our next mission is before we meet back up with Jarnan. Maybe we can come to narrow the choices down before we meet Jarnan after the Ecclesiarchy.
Okay, I wouldn't want to cut Jarnan out of any decision-making process. Of course, Jarnan will be forthcoming with you on anything that we hear or see.
I would, my advice would be, with the severity of the situation that went down on the planet, Emmaus, perhaps with you being there with Jarnan for the majority of it, perhaps acting as a second voice, someone that can vouch for Jarnan. Not that, and he'll turn to Jarnan and be like, not that I do not believe that they would not believe you. You are, as far as I met, as pious as it comes. Just, I believe that somebody also speaking on behalf of them to give another viewpoint of the situation might help. Of course, ultimately, turning to Venari, it is up to you, my captain. I would not want to step on your toes at all.
Well, Emmaus is free to go where he likes.
I think, maybe if there are, some other questions or maybe some information I have that I can back Jarnan up to give a fuller picture, that might be the best option. Jarnan, what do you think?
Not that I don't think they'll believe me, considering who I am, but a second voice is always a good thing.
I'll make sure to trumpet your achievements so it doesn't just sound like you are bragging. I'll be there to confirm for them, because you did accomplish quite a bit, and we want to make sure that they are not taking what you say or what you have done with a grain of salt.
Well, I thank you for that. I'm sure between the two of us, we'll be able to adequately speak of all of my accomplishments.
Indeed.
All right. It seems like we have a plan. We'll leave the crew to unload the good grain, prepare that for the administratum, and guess we can meet back here before we head over and deal with that situation.
Sounds like a plan.
I will leave you to it.
Okay. So, Jarnan, do you want to? You're going to head to the ecclesiarchy first, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go talk to them. Let them know
Okay.
what happened.
Okay.
I will walk behind, take a step or so behind to let Jarnan bask in his accomplishments and lead the way.
Jarnan hands him his stick. He's carrying his flag for him.
It's not a bad idea.
Behind him with the coconuts.
Yeah, exactly.
You show up at the ecclesiarchy. They, of course, acolytes, lower order members of the ecclesiarchy greet you, and say, "I assume you are here to speak to the high priest."
We are.
Right this way, then.
Lead on.
You're shown into his. I'm sure there's a word for priest's office that I'm blanking on.
Cloister, sanctum.
Cloister? Yeah.
Nah, it's more monk, right?
Vestry? Is that a word?
Just be a receiving room, right? I mean,
yeah, vestibule. It's a little. It's just a court. It's just a tiny. This is a little rectangle. It's a janitor's closet. I work in a janitor's closet. Yes. You greet him in his receiving room. Seems you have returned, Jarnan. How was the mission? I've heard you were sent to a planet who has been untouched by the God Emperor's grace for quite some time.
I was, and it showed. The local priestess of the harvest was almost completely consumed by the warp. Then she was completely consumed by my flamethrower.
He furrows his brow as you're saying the almost consumed by the warp part. And then, as you say, completely consumed by my flames, he grins broadly. Well done, sir. It seems I have little to fear in the piousness of our brethren rejoining the Empire.
Yes, I actually, from my speaking highly of him, I was able to get a more pious member to be the new Harvest Master on the planet. Unfortunately, because of so many of them being tainted by the warp, I did have to cleanse about 200 members. So they will need to build their ranks back up over the next few years.
I see you do not shy away from the hard work of the pious. I understand it can be quite fretful to purge the ranks of heretics, but you did what you must. And the ecclesiarchy and the God Emperor looks favorably upon you for it.
I thank you for that. They actually had a good amount of tithe of grain to give to the Emperor. Some of it we did find was tainted by the warp, but that was all destroyed, and we only brought the good stuff back with us.
Tainted by the warp, you say? Is there some sort of spatial anomaly? Something leaking chaos energy into this planet's periphery? Is that what was the cause? Did you find the source of this warp taint?
From what we could find, it was being intentionally done by the old Harvest Master. That she was specifically tainting the grain.
In service of what? Did you find what was her goal?
Unfortunately, she succumbed to the flames before she was able to actually answer that question. She took her response to the grave.
So you have no idea then why she would have been tainting this grain? She must have been corrupted by something, by someone.
There was
a demon, perhaps?
There was a demon on the planet.
Surely you should have mentioned this sooner. A demon. On an imperial world, tainting the soul of one of our own, meant to look over the tithe to the God Emperor. Tell me of this demon.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember much about that demon because it's been like forever.
So there was just a quick refresh. So when we went into the cave, there was the circle of psychers that were burnt in place.
Yeah.
And then there was the chaos runes all over the wall. So we went in, a demon appeared, which we fought. Well, which you fought, I guess, and the rest of it was really bad.
Killed it, and you ate some of it.
Hey.
Kynnoch
ate some of it.
Yeah, I ran away.
Yeah, Kynnoch and Jarnan took care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, okay.
Whatever.
That's right. Kynnoch was the one who ate it.
Yeah. And then after we killed it, a second demon popped up, said something about, made some small talk, and then was like, hey, go to this planet, whose name I'd have to find. It's like Aragosa or something. Agusia. Bam, I got it. So that's what happened. I'm going to mute again. Go ahead. Take it from there. I'll edit all this shit out.
Okay. And then he, so we were able to track this demon to a cave system, and with the help of one of my companions, we were able to take down the demon and cleanse him thoroughly. Unfortunately, after that happened, some runes on the wall caused another demon to appear, this one even greater. And unfortunately, he was able to escape, but he did give us one clue about going to another planet, which I will be more than happy to follow up on that lead.
Yes. Brother, I believe you must. This is of dire consequence. If the agents of chaos mean to undermine the grace of restoring an imperial colony to the fold, they must have greater plans. There must be something amiss beyond simply simply tainting this grain. Perhaps they hope to defile greater portions of the Imperium. Obviously, if this grain had made its way into the supplies of our colonies, who knows what untold horrors could have occurred. I think you must, as of course, you, as a member of the Rogue Trader crew, are not beholden to my wishes. However, I would strongly encourage from the ecclesiarchy that you investigate this demon who I would say seems rather powerful if he was able to influence such a pious member of the community as well. I believe we may need more information. And he seems to be drawing you in for some reason. Obviously, you can't trust anything a demon says. It's likely a trap. So be ready for anything. But I would encourage you strongly, as a member of the ecclesiarchy, to investigate this demon. Do not let him lead any more of the imperial citizens astray. We must find more information on him and find a way to stop whatever it is he's planning, whatever chaos he would like to wreak upon the Empire.
I would be more than happy to track down the demon that managed to escape me. I will take all the precautions that I can, because, as you said, it will more than likely be a trap that he wants us to go to that location. Just as an aside, the cave with all the ruins that summoned that demon was destroyed, so at least he won't be able to get back there very easily.
Excellent. Much like with the Harvest Cult, you have done well in eliminating Chaos's reign on the planet. I feel I can trust your opinion if you believe the planet is clean of their vile influence. Do you believe so?
I do believe so at the moment. I believe that possibly there should be a follow-up investigation in the near future to make sure that it does not come back.
Well, I assure you I will send our best upon the mission. I will make sure that the planet is safe, that we have reclaimed it for the God Emperor's will, and that they will produce a clean, untainted tithe for our citizens, feeding us against the evils who wish to overcome and destroy the good soul of the imperial people.
That is all we ask, and that is all that is given to us.
Well then, I would ask you then to investigate this demon. If possible, we must learn at least enough to identify which. If it is such a powerful demon, it must have a name. It must have some identifying information that we could search back through our records. I promise you, I have ties to the highest level of the Ecclesiarchy archives. We will be able to identify any serious threats to the Imperium. So it's up to you if you choose to seek out this threat to determine what and who it is threatening the Imperium. And then I promise you, you have the full backing of the Ecclesiarchy. We will do our best to make sure we can snuff out any threat to humanity.
That shouldn't be a problem. It should be fairly easy to convince the rogue trader that this new mission should be accomplished as quickly as possible. And I'm just gonna kind of glance back at Aeneas and just kind of look at him and turn back forward.
So are you looking at me to
basically be like, open your mouth and my flamer is trained on you.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So he'll get ready to step forward, and then Jarnan will turn around and kind of wave the flamer, and then he'll kind of step back. I'm trying to think of how to play this, but yeah. So obviously, there was a way I was going to go, but Jarnan's made very clear. But I will step up to Jarnan and talk to him into his ear, not across, to Stan, and just say, it may be easier if we have something to take back to the captain to convince him. I'm sure he'll be finding some other things to distract him or send him on different ways. Do you think it may be worth dangling something in front of him to push him down this path?
You do make a good point. It may be easy.
Instead of blurting that out and getting flamed, I'll just say that to you instead.
My esteemed colleague here has brought up a good point. Rogue traders think with their wallets in their stomachs, in their whiskey glasses first, in their faith last. So it may be easier to propel him in the direction we would like to take him if we had some kind of carrot to dangle in front of him.
I see your point. Rogue traders are a single-minded bunch. Unlike, of course, we are also single-minded, but we are single-minded in the grace of the God Emperor's glory. They are single-minded more in more earthly pleasures. So I'm sure you're quite aware the Ecclesiarchy has amassed significant wealth in our tenure as the righteous arm of the God Emperor. And so I'm certain we would be able to reward your Lord Captain and the crew quite generously, particularly if such a threat as large as this happens to be present as you have described. If it turns out to be nothing, even then, the knowledge that we have extinguished even a minor threat would be something. So I certainly think it would be worth your Lord Captain's while to pursue the mission. As well as that, we have been known to loan particular artifacts or other potential goods that may be of some degree of assistance in your travels, we would be willing, obviously, to look into the coffers more closely if you were on a mission of grand importance to the ecclesiarchy, if you hear the message.
Well, I thank you for that. I will bring that up to my rogue trader, and I'm certain that he will be happy to oblige you with such a juicy reward sitting in front of him. As always, your wisdom is as strong as your faith.
Well, you don't need to send such compliments to me, but I appreciate it. You are a diligent servant of the God Emperor, and I appreciate that, especially from those under the influence of less conventional minds, shall we say. I've seen a number of members of the church go astray under the captaincy of rogue traders, perhaps drawn by the power of the warp, or maybe even simply gone insane. So I appreciate that you have stayed steadfast in your mission to further the glory of the God Emperor.
Well,
blessings be to you and to your ship. Please keep me apprised of any developments, and if you need any additional support, I can't guarantee anything, but I would be willing to try my best in order to make sure this mission goes successfully.
as always, I thank you for that, sir, and thank you for the compliments, Your Grace. We will be in touch.
God Emperor's blessing to you.
God Emperor's light be upon you. I'm just going to turn and walk away.
And I'll do a quick bow. Yeah, I'll do a quick bow also and kind of back out behind with Jarnan.
He looks rather pleased as you leave.
Good. He should be.
Yeah, you pretty much did everything a member of the ecclesiarchy would, a missionary would in his position, that you pretty much destroyed heretics and didn't take no for an answer. So he's pretty happy, considering you weren't just like, oh yeah, shit, I'm lying about a bunch of stuff and maybe I'm working with aliens. So yeah,
Jarnan's got his eyes on the prize.
He's pretty stoked. He's like, this guy might have it. This guy might have what it takes.
See, but now he's got you marked that you're going to be coming out for him now.
He should be all right. I won't
Yes,
cross him.
Go ahead.
I won't cross him before I cross you.
That's exactly what the God Emperor is looking for.
Damn it. Come on, we could have bonded over that.
Unrelenting devotion.
Right. And that is Venari's, that's going to be Venari's downfall, is that he thinks him and Jarnan bonded over that whole thing. In reality, Jarnan's just like, fuck that guy.
Like, I burned the fuck out of a bunch of evil fucks and I did it. I'm awesome. Yeah. I am the most fucking holy motherfucker there is. I don't give a shit about this rogue trader asshole. I just got to fucking destroy evil. That's my job. It feels great.
And if the rogue trader happens to turn out evil,
it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for a rogue trader to end up tainted as fuck.
That's fair.
Okay, so the other group, where were you headed?
I would say that as they're walking, he's like, "Oh, so Kynnoch, are you interested in a servo skull of your own? We could make yours the evil cane. We could draw the little goatee on the." Sure, he said. I mean, I was gonna go to see Talon Tracks anyway, so it's just an odd coincidence that you want to.
So I will stipulate as well. Kynnoch most definitely did not want Venari coming with him on this, but he could not think of a way to weasel himself out of the captain coming with him. So reluctantly, they are together. So the entire time Venari talks, Kynnoch just kind of shakes his head and keeps his head down. It's like, no, sir, I tend to draw enough attention as is, and unlike you, it is not particularly something that I enjoy.
Well, yes, I mean, you do have the whole.
I understand. Yes, yeah, exactly. I understand as a rogue trader that presentation is 90% of your being, and so I understand why you have a robotic floating human skull. However, it's just not my forte. But thank you.
They're
for the
super useful. I mean, he records everything. Look, he's got my bottle. He turns around, the skull's like holding the fucking bottle of Amasec underneath of it, where the pistol should be.
You've replaced the last pistol with a bottle of Amasec.
Well, like it like snaps to the back, like it still has the pistol, but
no,
like, for the
no,
most
it doesn't.
part,
No, you asked Tim to replace the last bit. It's like, I have no need for this, but a bottle of Amasec.
Right, that's fair. That's probably fair. Maybe what's a 0 pen? It's like fucking. That's pointless. So as we're walking, he's like, "Should we stop for a drink before we go?"
Oh, if you know what, if you wish to take a break and regale the great people of Port Wander about your exploits on the planet, then by all means. Personally, I feel awkward in those social situations, but if you would like me to take care of business while you get some relaxation in and some well-deserved praise, by all means, sir. I would love to do that for you.
I'm sure it could probably. I'll grab Emmaus later. Emmaus, he knows how to. It's fine. Let's handle this, and then we can. We'll go back to the ship,
sir.
So he just puts his hand up. The skull comes over, just like drops the bottle into his hand. He like reaches into one of his voluminous pockets and like pulls out a little fucking like whiskey, whiskey glass. Pours some. Takes a drink while they're walking.
Of course.
Holds it up. Pours another one. He hands it. He reaches over to you, see if you want to take it.
No, thank you.
Boom, pounds another one. Glass back in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I guess we go over. Talon Tracks is that guy's name, I believe, right?
Yes, that is the tech priest contact's name. Yes.
See, I like that guy. That's why I remembered his name.
Yeah. All right. So you are greeted by a servitor at the desk, asking if you have an appointment.
An appointment? No, I am here to see Talon Tracks. We have some. I want to see how he's doing. The report on the skull's performing very well. This is a very nice job. I like what you guys did, especially with the bottles. Fantastic, perfect workmanship.
Thank you. Our comment box is accessible at the terminal to your right.
Okay, he points at the skull. The skull like beeps down a little bit.
Do you need technical support?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I wanted to see, just exactly what Talent Tracks had going on. If there's any news to report, anything that needed done, perhaps.
Let me query. Querying. Any news is available via bulletin boards posted upon public spaces. You may access the terminal to your left. It comprises all known technical data and additional findings from public outreach.
Kynnoch will kind of wave at the server and we wish to speak to one of your tech priests about a possible development, an upgrade, if you will. Can you facilitate that?
Please describe the upgrade. Is this an upgrade for our records, or would you prefer upgrades to your form?
And he'll kind of look at Venari and it's like, neither.
Escalating.
Beep, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Where do I just hit 0?
Operator.
Representative. Representative. Explorer, Talon Track will see you now. Please proceed down the hallway.
I don't know why that was so hard. Come on, Kynnoch, let's. And he just
knock on the
gives it
head.
like a bad, like a dirty look as they're walking by.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, great.
The
great.
Adeptus Mechanicus appreciates your service.
So Venari points at the skull and points at the thing, and it goes over it and pokes it in the head, and then it fucking comes back over.
It doesn't even. Literally doesn't even react. It's like nothing happened. Blood.
Last time a
blood kind of
robot
running
pissed
down
me
with it.
off, I threw a towel over its head.
You are. It allows you down the entranceway. It opens the door to the offices. And Explorer Talon Tracks is at one of the end offices that you have been in previously.
Explorer Talon Track, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Venari, it is correct.
Correct. I'm glad you remember.
Can I ask a quick question? The Adeptus Mechanicus, I know that they're still kind of under the purview of the ecclesiarchy. Kind of ish, yeah.
Well, under / they kind of believe in that the God Emperor is God, but kind of also don't believe the Omnissiah.
Right, yeah.
Kind of the God Emperor and kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they feel about the outworld tech, like Eldar tech and all that kind of stuff? Would they find it as heretical as if I walked in? Yeah, I have that hollow suit. So
I was asking, do you have a skill that lets you know what? Do you have any knowledge skills around Adeptus Mechanicus or Xenos or Forbidden?
I have Imperial Navy and the Navis Nobilite, and then
that's not gonna help.
Those are my only common lores, really.
What Forbidden lores? Do you have any?
I have my Forbiddens are Navigator, Warp, and Chaos. So
yeah, you don't know.
Okay.
You could do an untrained if you want to do an untrained check.
Yeah, I'll do an untrained.
I mean, just see what you know in general. You won't know specifically, but sure.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, Venari brought the artifact in, right? So they're clearly interested in technology and stuff.
No, that was a 46 against a 27. So
You're not sure how they would react to specific
yeah.
technologies per
All
se.
right. In that case, I'm gonna keep the hollow suit turned off for now.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna see if I could use it as like a flaunting type of thing, but if I walk in and they're like heretic and like burn me,
I think it's called peacocking.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm learning from the best.
Yeah, you're not sure whether it would either be. It could either be impressive,
Yeah,
in which case they take it from you because they want it. It could be heretical, in which case they kill you and take it because they want it. Or he's not impressed, in which case it doesn't do you much good either way. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of those three, probably.
Yeah. So I'll keep it turned off for now then. So.
What brings you to my offices?
It's been a while since we've been in. I wanted to check in and see if you had anything on the docket, anything that needed handled. Like he's just like picking up random shit in the office and like fiddling with it. Like he's looking at still it's interesting. Puts it back in the wrong spot, you know.
All of our contracts for rogue traders are available via the database. Not sure what you're referencing.
I forgot his password.
Don't touch my things.
I just imagine like a servo arm comes out and like multiples come out and start repositioning all the shit.
Everything starts like putting things back. He's like,
I have them there for a reason. I like order.
Oh sure. And he's like he looks down at the thing that's in his hand as a fucking mechadendrite, like pulls it out of his hand and like puts it back on a shelf.
Have a seat and keep your hands to yourself.
Puts his hands up in the air. Yeah, I prefer the personal touch. I know you guys are a little bit more, with the whole, the robot stuff and everything. But you just, touch and base. He kind of like looks over to Kynnoch because he wanted to come over.
And I'll look, Captain, if I may, kind of like reach his hand out and do kind of like a, can I have it?
And he points to the skull, and the skull like zooms over to you with the bottle. I thought you said you didn't want any.
It's like, no, the substance.
It's Amasec, yes.
I can sense it, or rather, I sense the lack of it on you.
And he's just like he makes a face like, fuck. All right, well, it seems that our purposes align in this matter. He reaches into one of the pockets and pulls out one of the vials of goo.
Yeah. And so then he'll take it and be like, we wish to inquire as to whether or not you could replicate this substance and perhaps feed it into the ship.
Venari sits up a little straighter, like, I didn't think about that.
Yes. Perhaps if it is something that we could either suffuse into the hull of the ship, or perhaps tie into a similar replication of the Geller field, so that if we could perhaps create an almost null field around the ship, I believe that would be quite useful in some of our endeavors.
Intriguing.
Yes, and considering the upgrades that you were able to do to the Heretics Bane last time, and how well you deal with this type of technology in these interesting aspects, I felt that you should have first hand at the attempt.
I have never seen such a substance. Please, may I?
Mechadendrite kind of
As
reaches
the
out and, like,
mechadendrite comes out, Venari grabs it, right, like right in front of him, and he's like,
and he just raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, Kynnoch never actually, he never really moved it from his side. So it was, in between him and Venari the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
And he was ready for that almost.
Before we continue, I think we should probably work out some deal before this disappears from sight. You are, as Kynnoch has indicated, the only ones that know about this, other than from, of course, where we have procured it. And any work that's done is going to lead to, obviously, new innovations that you guys can, dig your mecha. Yeah, so just anything that comes out of that, we should. I kind of feel like that should be sort of a pro bono as you get to work and synthesize on. So what I'm saying is, we're going to mutually benefit from this arrangement.
What do you want?
Kynnoch has indicated that perhaps if you were able to work this in some way into the ship's shield, I feel like that should be something that we should probably just be installed on the ship pro bono.
So, what you're saying, I, of course, do not have psyker abilities. I may not detect. This seems to be some sort of black liquid to me. It might as well be oil, but based on my assessment of your colleague's suggestion, it seems it may be more valuable as some sort of warp manipulating substance. Is this correct?
He touches his nose.
This basically acts as a cover of sorts. It negates any sense of the warp of anything that it is covering.
I must ask
it's a shield of such.
I must ask you one question.
Yes.
Have you made the ecclesiarchy aware of this substance?
Of course not. Of course not. You, of course, were the first person that we came to speak to, based on our previous relationship, of course.
We feel that if they were to get their hands on this first, that they would just immediately lock it away. However, if you are able to turn it into something useful on everyone's behalf, then they might be more accepting of its existence. We, of course, do not have any intentions of hiding it from them permanently. That would be heretical. However, if we, like I said, are able to turn it into something, then we will proceed from there.
Well, heresy is in the eye of the beholder. The Omnissiah would suggest perhaps his will is more important than that of the lesser than intelligences in the Imperium. Of course, if the ecclesiarchy does not know, as you claim, we may be able to work out a deal. Of course, if something comes of this, certainly we would be willing to share the benefit with your ship. However, all other uses would be the property of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Of course, if you are able to synthesize this material, then it is yours to play with.
With let's add one addendum, if we may. Of course, things would revert to you in regards to something such as that. But if perchance the Mechanicus was interested in earning some extra thrones to process and do all the things that you need to do. We could, of course, come to some arrangement to potentially sell such a product, perhaps.
The Mechanicus has no need for thrones. We are simply here looking for the way to better the Imperium of Man. And this substance, as you say, if it does indeed shield from warp signatures, it could be quite useful to the Mechanicus, as well as the Imperium proper, though under our direct observation, of course.
I guess as you see fit.
Of course, thrones being of no concern to us, we would be happy to oblige you for your troubles.
So we come to it. Excellent.
I know of rogue traders. You don't do anything for free. I'm more than happy to line your pockets if it gives me access exclusively. Though if I find you have betrayed our trust and made the ecclesiarchy or the administratum aware of this substance, I will be forced to act.
I would expect nothing less. Of course, if they find out, it wouldn't look good for me or the crew or the ship, so I have no interest in having this information get out to anyone other than the three of us.
Then it is settled. I will analyze the substance, determine if we may be able to synthesize it. If not, then perhaps you would be willing to divulge the source of your materials, and then we may be able to use that information to produce more. Of course, we will see. We will try synthetically, of course. I'm not sure what it is made of. Nothing like this has been discovered within the Imperium, according to the records that I have accessed. I have a direct connection, obviously, to our archives. So, I'm curious. If you would leave a sample with me, I will do what I can. And, of course, you would be the only beneficiary of any profits made beyond, of course, our service to the Omnissiah.
Venari gets a big grin. He leans over dramatically and places the vial in front of him on the desk. He says, I believe we have an accord. The only issue would be that the source of the substance is something that is beyond my grasp at the moment.
And Kynnoch will touch up to. He's like, unfortunately, as far as I know, this is all that is in existence at the moment. So this may be all we have to work with.
Curious. I must ask then, where did you find this substance? How did you procure it?
We will have to leave that off the table for now.
Fair enough. If we cannot gather more information, I take it you would be willing to divulge your source. Of course, for some, we would be willing if we cannot determine the origin or synthesis of this particular substance. Of course, if we can't synthesize it, there's no profit to be made. I am hoping you would be willing to divulge your source. If we cannot, then we will simply go to the source and determine how best to utilize it.
Let's hope that you are able to make some inroads in your synthesis. Again, sourcing is such a tricky business. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I believe that is a bridge that we will discuss crossing if we ever approach it. But I have the greatest of faith in you, in your priests.
Megadendrite reaches, grabs the vial, puts it in front of his eyes, and twirls it a bit. He looks, in somewhat awe of it before it goes in and places it into a storage compartment on his back.
We shall see. My skills are great, but there are many artifacts of which we cannot determine the origin or replicate. I will do my best. Trust that this information will not make it further from our circle. I will work on this myself. It is quite an endeavor.
Excellent. I have full faith in your ability.
Faith is not nearly as important as science. I will determine the origin of this through scientific methods. I assure you.
I would expect nothing less.
He bows, kind of waves a hand like, okay, we're done here. And then kind of walks behind his desk. There's a door. It kind of goes back through a hallway that looks like it's going into some sort of, inner sanctum laboratory type thing.
Yep. When he stands, then, Venari stands and he waves. He gets a little bit of a look, but he just sort of plays it off and like inclines his head, and I guess they walk out. So I guess as they're walking, he was like, "That's not bad, Kynnoch. I wasn't thinking like ship shield. That's a good thing that you came along. I would have been, who knows what would have happened."
Yes, I did not mean to spring that upon you. I was thinking of it more as a hopeful surprise that I was going to be able to bestow for you. More of an apology gift for the last couple of issues that have come up with the station and everything like that. But I'm glad that this has worked out.
I should have figured that you would have been able to sense or not sense the. So Emmaus knows, and of course we're keeping this all from Jarnan.
Indeed.
And while Mesa's walking, he just feels a chill, and he just feels like his
actually, yeah,
his quarters shrinking and getting smaller on the ship instead of getting bigger and a bigger one he was going to upgrade to.
Jarnan just like stops in the street and looks around like, Venari's doing something fucked up. I know it. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, it's how much does Emmaus know?
He is aware of the goo, obviously, as we are all aware of the goo in a general sense. But Emmaus knows that that we are in possession of, were in possession of a certain amount of said substance. And I talked with him about the potential for maybe something like this, or perhaps selling the. It's all under the bridge now. We have a new avenue with which we're going to work, so I'm sure everything will work out fine.
I would just. Now, I do not want to question your judgments or your decisions or anything. I believe you a trust a true captain, a just one. However, in this subject, I believe that you should be cautious what you share with Emmaus.
How do you mean?
Backstabber.
He just seems to be more of a pious nature. And now he does seem to be a face that blends into the crowd, I will admit, but he has brought up my previous engagement on the Aria Gloris, and he claims that he has also shipped on there. And so I do not know exactly what his motives are or what his history with it is, but they are not ones to take matters like this lightly. So in terms of this type of opportunity, I do not believe that I could disassociate him with the likes of even our missionary.
Neil, would I know anything about that ship at all? But what do I got to roll? I have Common Lore, Imperium, Forbidden Lore, Xenos. I don't have Navy or anything like that.
Imperium. Yeah, you can try Imperium. That's fine.
All right. That's fair. I have that train, so that'll be at 40. And I rolled a 44. Damn it. It's like on the tip of his tongue. He starts like tapping his temple. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like,
And what is it about the ship that would make... I mean, if you guys serve together, that should be a common bond of brotherhood. I mean, of course, the ships are so large. I don't know. He seems fine. He's sort of supplanted Kane since Kane's, Kane went crazy. I mean, we'll just throw it out there. And I've been grooming him to sort of be my number two.
Yes, and I mean that I believe that is fine. He seems like a decent operator. I have no qualms with him personally.
He's not great in a fight. I mean, he does take after Kane in that regard. I'm just,
Emmaus trips over curb and falls down. Like weird tingling.
Yes, and now, like I said, I do not know what his positions have been in the past. He seems like an excellent pilot.
He's a good pilot.
There we go. Yeah, I was going to say driver.
Excellent.
I'm like, you don't drive a spaceship. That's not a thing. Yes, he seems like an excellent pilot, and he gets the job done. It's just, I do not know exactly what information he would feel compelled to divulge to Jarnan. So I might keep certain things at arm's length.
I will keep that in mind. I would hope that Emmaus would understand that any betrayal would be dealt with harshly as anyone might expect.
Yes, but betrayal to whom is what you should be asking.
Well, of course, the captain. And he squints give you that
like,
And so you give him that look, and he squints at you like you understand too, right? Like, like it all comes through the captain,
It's like certain folks regard the captain as the ultimate say.
He straightens up a little bit.
Certain others see the captain as the go-between between the higher purpose.
He looks a little like consternated. He's like, that doesn't check out. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
Even a rogue trader such as yourself must bow down to the ultimate will of the God Emperor, no?
Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose that you're granted certain liberties.
I understand. Do not fear from me.
Argentina.
However, some others on the ship might not be so understanding of the freedom that some rogue traders are given.
Well, of course, we skate a line with Jarnan. We have to keep him placated so he doesn't set everybody on fire. I mean, that's why we did this thing at Ballentine. I mean, you have to throw him a bone sometimes. I mean, it can't be all, drugs and drink and whores. I mean, like, we have work to do. Like, I have to make thrones here, I mean, you understand where I'm coming from here. You've spent enough time in space.
I absolutely do, and all I am warning you of is there might be others that share a similar disposition as Jarnan, and I believe that Emmaus may be sketching that line. I do not know whether you can pull him to your side or not, so I am just saying be cautious.
He
because
throws
we do
an
not
arm.
know. I know that he has loyalty towards you, but he may have a stronger loyalty towards someone else.
He just throws an arm over your shoulder. He's like, "It's probably fine. Look, we'll try to drive
Incredibly
home."
uncomfortable.
Yeah. So he's like, he like leans in on you. He's like, "We'll just have to develop a little wedge. We'll have to put a little space. I think we can make this work, but I will absolutely take your advice under advisement. We'll play things a little closer to the chest."
Excellent.
And then, like, he turns to, like, look at you. We're, like, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's like, ugh. And then he kind of, like, takes his arm off and he kind of, like...
Yeah, you kind of, like,
yeah.
turn to do that, and he uses that also as the scapegoat to keep walking, like, a couple steps faster.
Yeah. I guess I head back to the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
You've already turned me down for a drink once, and now I'm kind of... So, like, now he's thinking about it as they're walking, and now it's, like, sort of an awkward silence because of the whole thing. And now it's, like, starting to get into his head, and he's, like, thinking about Emmaus, and he's, like, replaying conversations in his head, and, like, maybe I should give him Kane's room, because I know he's got that small room still. Like, maybe that'll help. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. You head back to the ship.
All right. I guess if Jarnan and Emmaus aren't there, we'll just kind of wait. Like, he'll oversee what's going on with the grain stuff. He may take a spin past Kane's room to kind of like check it out. Like, he's got his hands out. He's kind of like visually measuring.
Okay. Yeah. It's bigger and better than
he picks up the
his
picture
quarters?
of him and Kane. Kind of looks at it for a little bit.
looks sad for a second.
I'm assuming, too, that he's left it completely untouched, so Kane's armor that he laid out on his bed is still there.
Yep.
All the weapons still hung up on the wall.
It's exactly the same. Yep. He sits in there sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, because of the
Single
air
tier.
filtration system, there's no dust that's settled. But
You're right.
So yeah, everyone gets back. I mean, I would assume Jarnan, unless you have something else to do outside of your meeting,
I wasn't.
would get back
I
to the ship
wasn't
as well.
thinking. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about doing anything else. I didn't know if Jarnan. Well, it's not like Jarnan and I were going to go have a drink. So
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
could do some praying, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm not going to mention it. Let's just go back to the ship.
So, does Jarnan do anything else? I mean, do you like follow with like ecclesiarchy stuff? Does anybody contact Jarnan while he's on Port Wanderer? Or?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, yeah. I'm just throwing it back out there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, not
Okay.
right now.
Yep. Cool.
I mean, realistically, not at this specific moment.
It's hard to judge time when you can like arrive at a place that you haven't even left yet before, so it's kind of hard to tell like how long we've
Yeah.
been gone with stuff.
Yeah, it took you time to get there this time, so
Yeah.
you know, you did take time.
Okay. I mean, I suppose we could probably do it off screen, but if we had time when we came back, Venari would at some point try to contact Oros just to touch base, see how things were going on Footfall, see if, maybe that's how we find out that that dickhead is still running the place over there. See if there's been any fallout from like the fake map or anything like that.
Okay. You send a communique to Oros, and you get back a fairly in-depth report. The Zarkov is still in charge of Footfall. It's sort of status quo, although status quo over a certain, over a long period of time. People are not super happy about it. It's been sort of straining some local trade organization relations. You get obviously, some of the opportunities that you previously had are still available. You were a representative from Rihanna Jade Corbetti, another rogue trader. One of her agents, sort of on the sly, contacted Oros about some potential collaborative opportunities, as she put it.
He reads a lot into that.
There obviously is, with the opening of the route to Ballentine, there has been some Adeptus Astra Telepathica communique interested in information regarding psychers on Ballentine. And he does have a communique from from the mining outpost about some, as they put it, hostile locals that have been causing trouble for the colony, or budding colony as it is.
Interesting. He would follow up with that and see what kind of information Oros, if he had any specific details, how our garrison was doing, status on, how much of our base has been built or not built or started or.
So they're definitely starting construction. The base itself is still under construction. It's sort of framework at the moment. They are stationed most of the time, other than when they're actually, protecting the building site. They're stationed at the mining platform that was kind of dropped down, right, kind of en masse. It's like one big thing that kind of sits there, like a self-sustained colony type deal. So they've been there most of the time. The report in detail that Oros forwarded suggests there seems to be sort of coordinated, what they describe as coordinated guerrilla, GUERILLA type attacks, skirmishes to raid supplies, ammunition, weapons. They haven't gotten positive identification of the perpetrator, but based on the pattern of attacks, they would have thought a bigger force probably would have been used if it were a rogue trader or some other massive hostile force. They certainly could have had more firepower to just obliterate the place if they really, really wanted. But it's also far too coordinated for just sort of dumb local species of any sort to perpetrate.
And I don't remember in character, from what we were told when we originally took the mission, were there people on the planet? Were there areas of civilization, or was this
Nope.
an uninhabited rock?
Not uninhabited, but
Okay.
not what were considered
Sprawling metropolises.
there weren't developed peoples by any stretch. Whether or not you know for sure if there were even like semi-intelligent beings, you're not sure. There's certainly dangerous wildlife.
Sure.
But there weren't like like cities or towns or villages or that sort of thing. So you're not sure what that means.
All right. And there hasn't been like a lot of deaths or anything. They're just essentially stealing supplies.
There have.
I mean, I guess people die, right? But
yeah, there's a handful, of people who, throats cut and then supplies stolen, or that sort of thing.
Okay. He would leave that off with just to keep him informed that they'd be here for a couple of days. See if he could glean any more information before we decide to do anything else.
Okay.
And how's my Amasec coming along? I don't know what fucking planet that's on, but we're making Amasec somewhere.
Define. Yeah, you've got a supply going. Yeah.
Okay. I'd make sure to order some of that shit up so that I have that on the ship.
Sure. I mean, he asked whether you want it delivered. If you want it delivered to Port Wonder, that's fine. Or you could go to Footfalls, kind of where your staging area typically is. He wasn't aware you wanted it shipped to Port Wonder.
Could they get it here theoretically in a couple of days? Like, I don't know how big a jump that is from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far.
Okay. Yeah, I tell them to send it.
Jaunt. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like cases and cases and cases. Like, there's going to be some at the local bar that he goes to. He's just going to like come in and like fucking leave a case or two. Like, make sure it's labeled, prominently displayed, Hallerman brand Amasec.
It's basically like, sure, we'll get a transport vessel on the way. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he's happy with that.
What else would you... I mean, what are you, I guess, doing per se? Like, what is your goal on... You've kind of heard... You have the Mechanicus is looking into the liquid, the goo, the ecclesiarchy obviously has Jarnan has gotten some sort of direction.
I mean, I'm assuming that it's going to take them a while to figure that out.
Yes,
We probably
that's
yeah,
backwards.
that's
yeah,
more
we don't
of
want to we don't want to wait on them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think we probably want to take
yeah, you
something
definitely
up.
don't want to just like sit around for that. That's
Right.
definitely not gonna it's gonna take a while. That's not easy to do.
Mhm.
So for sure that's gonna be a while.
We're gonna come back to Port Wander and it's gonna be like a giant null void around the
Yeah.
entire station. They
Like a
fucked
psycho
up and
black
the whole
hole.
yep. They fucked up and the whole entire thing is just completely undetectable.
Yep.
What-
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he would wait for Emmaus and Jarnan to come back so they could. So he needs to find out what happened with Kynnoch, what he said, and then let them know he's waiting on more information about the base because that's important in the long term scheme of things. And then kind of see, where Jarnan's at as far as what he wants to do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean everyone's back of the ship.
Yeah. Yep. So Venari's just chilling in the chair, kind of spinning around a little bit.
Rogue Trader, if I'm not interrupting anything.
No, Jarnan, we were waiting for you. We need to discuss what happened with Kynnoch. He's such a wonderful individual. What did he have to say?
He took me at my word and
course.
praised me for doing such a good job.
As he should.
He was disappointed to hear that we let a chaos demon go, but
I mean, we didn't really let it go so much as it just disappeared. I mean,
yeah, same. So he would like us to track down the chaos demon
to Agusia.
and get rid of it. And
Do you
he
believe that's
is
possible?
I will find out. And he is willing to reward us handsomely for it.
Really? Do tell.
I said that, depending on who the demon turns out to be, it will be a proportionate reward, that there are certain artifacts that he would be willing to lend out, and the coffers are pretty full.
Interesting. That's interesting. I didn't think you'd really want to go to a necropolis to... I mean, of course we want to banish demons, and I understand where you're coming from, but I wasn't sure that would be something you would be willing to undertake.
I would very much be willing to go after the demon that managed to get away from me.
I can see that makes sense. I don't know why I would have thought any different.
Yeah.
He shrugs.
But what about you? Would you be wanting to do that?
I mean, of course, the Heretics Bane, it has a long and storied history of working hand in glove with the ecclesiarchy to rid the Imperium of creatures such as this and heresies such as you yourself had rooted out.
Yes, there is a long history. But what about the present?
Did we not just return from, as you say, cleansing the planet of Ballentine?
Yes, and now we know that there is a chaos demon out there that should be taken care of.
I see no reason why we couldn't pursue such an action, especially with such a generous offer from the ecclesiarchy.
Well, I'm glad that we're in agreement. I'll have to research some, see if I can find out who this demon is, and see if he is capable of being killed and how to do it.
Okay. I have learned through my various contacts that our fledgling base has been under attack. Construction is underway. Everything seems fine that way, but the mining colony itself seems to be under some sort of coordinated attack. Perhaps we could maybe swing by, see how things are going. Maybe we could suss something out there. I am waiting for Oros to report back, see if there's any more specific information. Didn't think that there were any sentient beings so close to the mining complex itself. You think they would have, brought that up when we went out in the first place? I thought that we would sort of be out on our own. So it pays to kind of make sure that goes well, as that's our fallback position in the future, potentially.
Well, I have a good amount of research to do, so I don't see why we couldn't go make sure the mining colony was settled and protected while I do the research.
Okay, we'll see how quickly he's able to respond. I do have a shipment inbound, so we will have at least a few days here on Port Wanderer to do the things that we need to do.
What shipment?
My own label of Amasek.
Oh, that's good.
Of course it's good. It's got the Hallerman name on it.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, hey, whatever makes you happy.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're hanging out until you hear back about the colony and your Amasek gets delivered?
Yes. He would take Emmaus out drinking.
Okay.
Because I know Emmaus would go and he would just try to get into Emmaus's head a little bit and see what's going on.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah. You guys want to role play that? Or it's up to you guys. Whether you're it depends on if you actually think he has some sort of information or if you just want to skip to other information that you're getting.
We could do so. Like, Kynnoch's got him thinking. Like, he thought he had Emmaus, like, in his pocket, right? I mean, he's grooming him for number 2, and he's like, I don't know about this guy. He's all fucked up and might not be who you think he is. And like, he was on this ship, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it could be some fucking.
Those navigators though, they're squirrely. You never know. Sure. Okay. You go out drinking and doing whatever rogue traders do while hammered.
Yep. We get a nice corner booth. This is before the Amasek comes in, so of course he orders like the top shelf stuff. He just has a bottle on the table. And
and the whole time you're complaining, oh, this tastes like shit. I wish there was that Hallerman stuff. I've heard it was really great.
I heard it's coming in soon.
I was there. I hear there's a shipment, but too bad it's not here yet, right?
Yeah. So they're drinking. It's it's like pretty chill. And he's so Emmaus. I just wanted to get your opinion. How did things go with Karna? He's a prickly fella.
I think he offered something that might be worth looking at. I just don't know from your standpoint whether that would be worth more than any of the other kind of options we have going forward. I think we have a valuable ally in Jarnan on our side with the ecclesiarchy. So I think we're in a good position to either keep ourselves on the right side of them or also get some better options if we decide to help them out.
Did he allow you to speak at all?
It was intimated that I should probably let him take the lead. The one thing I did have any fear or worry about, I did discuss with him separately, so he did pass on my concerns or my thoughts to Carnot Stan, that kind of led us to getting that option of the deal that the ecclesiarchy is offering us now. So I was respecting his status with Carnot Stan, so I kind of let him take the lead on that. But we were of the same mind, and we both came out thinking the same thing, and with the results I was hoping from talking with them.
So when you say all of that, he sits up a little straighter, he pours another glass, and he pushes it to you. Now he wants to get you drunk.
Okay.
I mean, Venari's drinking too, but he slows down.
Yeah.
Because you're of the same mind of Jarnan and Carnot. So like now, like, oh, it all makes sense now. And our side hustle, as it were, is there anything discussed about things that we discussed in private?
I think the fact that if I was going to try to speak up, that the flamer was pointed at me. I really didn't think going over and above, even trying to just open my mouth, would probably have been the best thing. So that's I've spent my whole life making sure that life goes on, and I think that would probably be the shortest way to making sure that doesn't happen. So I will definitely keep that to myself. It's not anything that just affects you. Obviously, it affects us all now. So none of us would be safe if it wasn't handled correctly or properly or completely buried from his knowledge.
And yet someone with the knowledge who made it be known that such a thing existed could perhaps skirt justice, could they not? Let's pour in another glass.
I would think, just from the attitude of our friend Jarnan and not being completely understanding of his organization or the organization he swears a separate allegiance to, I don't think they would look very kindly on someone pointing out or bringing that up. To me, it would be easier for them to just wipe all thoughts or knowledge of that away. And then, I kind of look over and take another drink saying, be a lot easier just to kill 3 instead of just 2. It's not like it's that much more effort on their part. And I feel that what we have would outweigh more than just our 3 measly lives. Because I do know that Kynnoch knows, right?
I mean, if you caught his looks at my crotch area, I suppose, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, so we did that, yeah. Your crotchal area, yeah, okay. So I just didn't know.
Or he just thinks your crotch is really cool.
So I don't think...
it is gold-plated, so I mean...
Yeah.
Big cod piece, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the 3 of us being steamrolled to bury that information from the ecclesiarchy standpoint would be something that they would really shy away from. So I wouldn't see, if you're trying to intimate that I was trying to make a deal on the side with them, I really don't think they would care to reward me, as I've been involved with it from the beginning.
Emmaus, I would never suggest such a thing. I told you myself from these own lips that I have been grooming you for my number 2 since Kane's unfortunate passing.
I thank you very much, Captain. I feel that we've accomplished quite a bit, and there's a lot more we can accomplish. But it is always you are the road trader. It is your ship, so I will go with what you decide.
See, that's what I like to hear. He leans in real close and he goes, I trust you, Emmaus. You know this, right?
Yes, I do, sir. And I'll slug back the drink.
He pats, like he slaps you on the back. He says, "Just be wary of Jarnan. He has ears all over. His not zealots. His what are they? Acolytes are all over the ship. Just keep things close to the vest, and things that we discuss are things that, of course, remain between us."
He's been very valuable to the crew, but I do take on board that we must treat him and the information we have around him pretty secretively or pretty securely, because we've all seen what he is capable of, and we do not want it turned on. I don't want it turned on us. That would not be very good.
Of course not. Well, we all work for the Emperor's glory, do we not?
Yes, we do. Yes. In a macro versus micro level, yes, we do. We all have our own things to our own glory also.
Indeed. Remind me if you remember. Remind me. We'll see about moving your quarters up to Canesville. I have to have it cleaned out, of course. Put some things in storage, but you've got such a small place up in the front of the ship. We can probably do better for you.
I appreciate it, Captain. That would be a very nice gesture on your part.
Of course. I help those that help me, Emmaus.
And I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll raise my glass and make a toast.
He raises his glass, thanks to yours. Like this is like the whole night is this.
A lot of log rolling. No, you are. No, you are. You're just such a great man, right?
All right, yeah. We can move on to other stuff. He's fucking Venari, like the next day, Venari like rewatches the tape on the skull, trying to look for any like little ticks and shit.
And he tells, scratching his nose and no eye contact.
Yeah. I don't have the skill to roll, but
it's carousing, right? No.
Well, for drinking,
watching the video.
Yeah. So you spend a few days hanging out, drinking, and whatever stuff, and you get an additional hail from Rihanna Corbetti. Whether you respond is up to you. You also get some additional information from the security footage from the mining operation base. Someone roll scrutiny.
Not it. I probably have the crew together for that, right? I mean, just the.
I mean, you can do
something we're gonna undertake together as a mission.
Okay, perception. 14 out of 40.
Bam! There's my guy. That's my number 2.
What if it was the other way? What if it was like 58 out of 40?
I don't know then.
Do better.
Let's be glad it didn't.
Yeah.
For your sake, right?
Venari's behind him with a pistol, like kind of pointing it.
Are you perceiving anything?
Everyone else, you see some activity. There's some, creatures that look bipedal that, kind of break in, and they're looting, kind of taking some stuff out. One of the guards is attacked. But Emmaus notices in the background, sort of hidden, like with sort of camouflaged and like face kind of like painted and kind of camoed, sort of like mud, kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator style. What he is pretty convinced could be Kane.
No
I
shit.
fucking knew it.
Son of a bitch.
And it seems as if he's in charge or directing these creatures.
He's gone native.
Fuck, this is like a whole Kurtzian thing going
Yeah,
on.
exactly. I was just gonna say Colonel Kurtz.
Or they've gone Canian. Yeah, at least, yeah, that's it looks like you're pretty convinced that that's who that is. You can't figure out anyone else that it would be. How that happened is a good question.
So I'm assuming all of us are. So the four of us are up there.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, everyone's
So-
there looking, and
Yeah.
no one else. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? These like things are like attacking. That's weird." And you, on the other hand, are like, "No, that's definitely like,
Who's that dude?
wait a minute, I know that guy."
So I'll push pause button. I'll grab the remote and push pause and just say, "Gentlemen, I think we may have an issue here." And then I will point to the screen and computer enhance and zoom in on Kane's face.
Venari's like, no. He like walks away, like hand on a hip, he's fucking rubbing his head like, no, it can't be.
It's like a telenovela. Everybody slaps their head. Poor Kay.
This throws things in such an unexpected light. Kane's alive.
For now.
Whoa, burn.
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jarnan, Kane was a valued member of the crew. He looks at Emmaus like, who's the new number 2? And he's like, perhaps he could be redeemed.
Go put your
He
boxes
survived.
down. Don't move those boxes yet.
So some guy walks in with like a fucking clipboard and shit, looks at him. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. So, sir, I'm wondering if this is going to change any of the plans or discussions we've had over the past few days.
I believe we should try to contact him, no? He's one of the Heretics Bane. He's one of our own.
I would think it's something we would want to find out. It's just a matter of what the rest of us think.
He did go insane and run off into the woods. Who knows how sane he is right now? I'm not saying we should absolutely kill him immediately, but that may have to be an option.
Venari winces a little bit. I believe all options, I guess, must remain on the table. Indeed, yes, with safety of the base and the colony, of course, should be our first concern. But if there's any way in which we could perhaps bring him back around, he may still be a valuable asset.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Indeed, I guess we make a trip to the mining colony then.
Agreed. Kynnoch?
Kill him, save him. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
Then we are agreed then.
Also, I can do both at the same time.
Touche.
Technically, yeah, you
Wow.
can.
That's a good one. Nice.
Venari sags a little bit. So I guess they. Good.
Yeah, you're gonna go toward the. I'm guessing you're going to the colony then.
Yeah, that'll be the first stop on our way to Agusia.
All right. Yeah, you are on your way. I think that's probably a good time to break with the cliffhanger of
Dun dun dun.
how do you deal with an arch militant with his army of monkey men or whatever they are.
We get to start off next session with Kynnoch totally fucking up the navigation.
And then playing two characters.
Good.
It's gonna work out.
Like a
before
charm.
before we leave, all that Amasec, not all the Amasec, clearly not all the Amasec, but the Amasec that needs to be delivered is delivered before we leave.
Yeah. Sure.
Priorities. Yes, priorities.
That's fine. Yep.
And I guess that at some point during that week or couple of days, the good grain was unloaded. Ah, shit! We never went to the Administratum.
That's true.
So we're taking all the grain got offloaded though, didn't it?
I mean, it was being prepared. I forgot. We needed to go over there.
It's just with a sticky note. This is yours.
mean, you can. Oh, yeah. You can retcon that or say you did it right. Like it's fine.
Well, also we were waiting a couple of days for
Yeah, like you
all
would.
your booze anyway.
You can always. Yeah,
We did it off screen, I guess. However that shakes out. I mean, so he was just looking for a beneficial outcome with the Administratum, with the backing of the Ecclesiarch, to be like, yeah, don't like fucking decimate half the population. Like,
Yeah.
there was a fucking demon, and we took care of it.
Planet, we took care of it.
Yeah. You get essentially like basically the approval of the ecclesiarchy helps sort of bolster the Administratum's response. It tempers it quite a bit, so that it's not like, wow, you like fucked everything up. Way to go, you know.
Yeah, we let them know the fields are clear. You know, the grain's going to continue moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, the demon situation was taken care of. The cult was taken care of. You know, the ecclesiarchy is going to follow up. You know, at Jarnan's request to like check to make sure everything is still cool in 6 months or whatever the fuck it is. So like we're on top of the situation. Yeah.
So they're more appreciative, obviously, than of last time that you tried and retconned. So they're definitely they're on board. They're not going to punish the planet or anything. They're like, great job. The ecclesiarchy said you were pious and blah 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 blah. And so they well, I guess they have to reward you. So they give you access to some proprietary trade routes and such, so that you get essentially a profit factor of 2.
Nice.
Additional. So you have quite a bit of resources at your command. They gave you, well, I'll say they also approved you as the sole source provider of Amasec in the region. So you have that going for you,
Nice.
as well as some additional trade opportunities at prices that essentially enable you to get what would be like government pricing, essentially, that you would then sell. So
nice. I like it.
Of course.
So
We're
you're definitely all the richer because of it.
Yeah, we're up to 56 profit factor now.
Yeah. You have to be creeping in on what's his name, the other captain.
Oh, fuck, I forget his name. The guy on Footfall.
Footfall, yeah.
Zarkov.
Yeah.
Zarkov, yeah. I mean, I know, like, it's not an immediate, like, you roll in, I have more money than you, so now I'm the captain. But, like, you have to start having a lot more sway, like.
I mean, he has a cruiser, so, like, that might makes right, you know?
Yeah, but we're like a little, like a wasp. Like, yeah, all you gotta do is just hit him in the right spot, and you can take him down.
I mean, don't think I haven't considered a stealth mission to blow his fucking ship up or whatever.
Well, just to let you know, Kynnoch can teleport, so that could come in handy.
Ooh.
I haven't done it
yet.
I
could fail my rolls and just wreck into the friggin' ship.
Right?
Yeah. You just blow up the whole station. Be like, fuck it. Footfall, we don't need it. We don't need it.
Let's just buy a junker.
Doesn't matter.
We can just buy a junker and warp it into the middle of his cruiser.
Oh, Jesus.
That is true.
Theoretically, yeah, totally possible. I mean, it's ballsy, but I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone just literally warping and trying to phase into reality, like in a station.
That would never played with us.
That would fuck shit up like crazy for sure. So there's that.
Well, not the station, his ship.
Oh, his ship.
Take his ship.
Which is
what's a rogue trader without a ship?
Not much, sure. Exactly. But to be fair, yeah. If you wanted the station, that's one thing. If you wanted the ship and not damage the station, yikes. I mean, it's gonna be rolls you would require. I would require some serious rolling on that one.
There we go.
Some serious ones.
Third mission. Phase a junker into a cruiser.
Well, here's the thing: we don't get really any benefit from lording over Footfall. Like, you have to be there to be in control, and that's not
true.
Yeah,
true. Or just kill him and then throw the entire station into chaos.
Well, I mean, there is that.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't really be chaos. Like, it's just whatever rogue trader was on board would be in charge.
Yeah.
Like, if he killed him, and you would be in charge, and then once you left, whoever else shows up would be in. Like, there is an administration also. It's just they're told that whoever the rogue trader is in charge. So
whoever's there, yeah.
Kill the administration. Yeah.
You could do that. I don't know why you would, but you could for sure.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, that was a fun game, especially since we haven't played in a while. It was quite enjoyable.
It's been a while.
Yep. Cool. It was nice everybody got to do a little something, which is always nice for this one. Having a captain always makes things kind of wonky, so it was cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm the captain now.
I'm waiting for that.
Which one though? That's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
now just 3. Now you got that 4.
Dark Heresy game.
Yeah.
It could be 4 now. One else coming back to take over.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to start bumping up all my attribute skills.
Is there a paranoid skill?
I think there is. That might be my next spend.
Actually, I mean, you can. Kane is paranoid, so that's.
So is
off.
Jarnan has it too.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have it yet.
Oh, that's right. That's a hive planet thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when it comes up in my rank thing. Keep eyes on that one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. I gotta go to fucking bed. At some point here. Sooner than later. Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking exhausted. I don't know what's wrong with me these days.
I don't know.
Probably because you have like 7 different things going on.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Could
It
do
doesn't help. It doesn't help.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for checking this out, for listening later. Check out the sponsors or sponsor at this moment in time. We've got Bird's Coffee. There's a link in the show notes for that awesome, awesome legendary brew. It's been selling like hotcakes at the beginning of the year. We're working Neil double time right now, so that's pretty cool. The other blends over at the Birds of a Feather are also awesome. Check out the Night Owl blend and the is the Morning Lark is the decaf.
No, Hummingbird is decaf.
Hummingbird.
Morning Lark is light roast.
I don't know why you'd order the I mean, whatever. I guess like coffee flavor, that's fine. I mean, the coffee's good even if it doesn't have caffeine, I guess.
John, some people can't drink caffeine. All right.
I mean, I guess whatever.
That's how it works. Wow.
As long as they're ordering coffee, that's fine. I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just order the coffee, guys. I don't care what you drink. You can drink it with fucking half booze in it. I don't give a shit. Just order it.
Don't even drink it. Just eat the beans.
Yeah. Don't even drink it. That's right.
Yep.
Just fucking eat it. Eat it.
Eat it.
You stupid fuck.
Well, maybe, you know.
That's gonna be my new slogan. Eat it, you stupid fuck. Do it. Christ already. God.
Shipping
Make
is
us rich. Or else.
It's probably not going to be on coffee, but I mean, we can try that route. I'm okay with that.
Shit,
shipping,
I'm gonna get rich on coffee. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm definitely getting rich on coffee, man. Yeah, you're not, because you don't get a fucking cut of it. You sell this T-shirt, I want a cut of the money, but that's all you're getting is a cut. You know? You're not getting the full fucking whatever the word I'm thinking of. What's the word? I'm tired, man. Come on. I have brain troubles / problems or brain problems.
Problems.
Look,
shipping is always free. You can use the code Legends10. You're going to get 10% off your order early now. Early order.
Order often. Guys, Bird's Coffee, early now. It's the most important message. Early now.
Early now so you can eat it, you fucks.
We're going to totally rebrand Birds.
Yeah. Early now, you fuck. That's the slogan. We got it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Early now, you fucks.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
And scene.
Good brainstorming session. Where are you going to be going wrong the whole time, Neil?
There you go. All right. I should probably end this before anything else happens. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Hey.